folks. So welcome back to the Tiger Sports Show, your one-stop shop for all of your Hastings Tiger sports and other activity news, at least everything that we know. My brother Trent and I, co-host Trent. How are you doing today?
Are you ready for the hottest topic going around school right now?
Hottest topic, is it pep rally related or donut
Yes,
related?
it is. It's a combination of both.
All right, well, hit me with it.
The fight song. They were asking for how to find the video on YouTube last night at the softball game. The football boys and the boys that came out to watch softball girls. And it's been a hot topic in the hallway, even with Coach Linden, our new principal. He was watching it last night while getting fast food at a local restaurant. And he thinks he has the words down.
I finished that up quick. I put the words on there. We got the classic band rendition from 1992 that we hear at the beginning of this show. I did spell victory wrong at one point and had to fix it, but I think it's fixed now.
I do have one bone with that. There are 3 Raws, not just 2.
I tell you, 1951 yearbook, which is the earliest printing of the lyrics I know of, Trent, is a 2 Raw. And you know I was always a 3 Raw guy.
Well, Coach Linden even asked if it was 3 Raws because he said it made more sense with 3 Raws.
When I learned it in 1982, we did 3 Raws. When Joe Swift and I would sing it at the end of freshman football practice every day, we always did 3 Raws. But the lyrics in the 51 yearbook are 2. Okay. So I only put 2. And I tell you, I've been doing 2 for a couple years. You know, rah. Maybe I'm just slower in my old age.
I'm a 3 guy.
All right. Well, we'll see at the pep rally which way the student body moves on that. We do have donuts Friday morning for anybody who shows up with their Tiger Pride on.
Yeah.
So I've been telling kids anything orange and black. You know,
745 main stairs.
Main stairways, free donuts. I mean, come on, Trent, free donuts.
I won't be off the bus until well after 7:45 in the morning. So.
Well, I hope they will save a donut for you because I'm definitely going to get one. Maybe I'll pick up yours and then I'll just eat it.
Eat it, yeah. So that'll be like the candy story, which you probably have told in class, which it is shocking that I've not heard about that yet.
I have not told it. That's for later in the year. All right, let's get to Tiger Sports, Trent. We got football first. We had a football game last weekend on the road at Elkhorn Stadium. And a first game that showed some struggles for the Tigers. We got some highlights. They certainly had high points. What did you think about the 28-0 loss at Elkhorn North?
They had points. The first drive was really good. Didn't come away with any points, but they moved the ball down the field. Elkhorn North looked like they were really fast. That's what it looked on the video that I was listening, and I heard KHS radio comment on how fast they were a little bit, and we're just playing some young pups still. So there's some sophomores that got in. We have the 2 sophomore quarterbacks that split time. Both, I thought, moved the ball down the field at times, and Cooper Cole got some carries, and then Naz Robinson, who in the defense just tried to do what they could. So,
yeah, early on it looked like, okay, this might be a battle. Elkhorn North had that big play on the screenplay that hurt, really well executed screenplay. And then I think they kind of wore us down a little bit. I was amazed at the number of big guys they were able to bring in the line. They were bringing some 6 foot, 215-pound guys in with the second string. And, I think that's one issue for the Tigers this year is developing some depth. Before we get to York and this week's home opener, the JVs opened up. Was that Monday night, Trent, that they went to school?
It was Monday. Coach Kruger took the boys up. They had a tough start. It was 6-6 at half, and then Seward came out. It was a pretty tight game the way it sounded the whole time and the whole game, and Seward pulled out an 18-14 victory. So, but just they started really slow, and first JV game for some of the really young kids and such. So, but we'll be curious to see what Coach Kruger's bunch can do
Yeah, and those
down
JV
the road.
games are very important as you build into the future. The ninth graders got started yesterday. I stopped by get that game for a little while. That was at home. Didn't go great. It was Grand Island Central Catholic's JV they bring down. So sometimes the freshmen are dealing with some older boys there, and it looked like it yesterday. Grand Island Central Catholic really got the better of them. I talked to some of the freshmen on the way to lunch today, and their message to me was, "Well, we've got some things to do at practice. We've got some things to work on." So, sometimes the young teams can use a loss like that early to get them going. But both of those teams start 0-1. Varsity starts 0-1, and now we got home opener for the varsity Friday night. What are you looking for from the Tigers and from the York Dukes on Friday night?
Well, the old story goes you make your biggest jump between weeks 1 and 2. So hopefully the Tigers can score some points. That's the first thing I'm looking for. And we all know York's always a great coach. Coach Snodgrass been
Going to
around.
be
He's
a
got some
physical
of
team.
he's got some of his boys still around, and we're just gonna have to step it up. And you want to see how much improvement you made between week 1 and week 2.
I tell you, I kind of had York picked as maybe one of the top teams in the West. I was a little surprised. They didn't just handle Lexington at all last week.
14-7.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a good sign for Friday night, especially where we're struggling to put points on the board. They aren't a team that went out and put a lot of points. It's going to be a physical game, but I'm confident in our guys playing a physical game. So hopefully things get off to a good start for the Tigers. They can match York's physicality, and we get a W Friday night.
Yeah, hoping for a good crowd. Heard a lot of kids talking about going to the game Friday, students. So hopefully we get that student body fired up and get some Tiger fans in the crowd. Not as many kids in the north end zone. That would be one of the things I would like, so I could actually watch the game and not be harping on kids to follow the rules. And I'm curious to see if my little patrol of good kids shows back up. So I got a good group. I got a small little group of elementary kids that come, and they follow the rules in the north end zone, and I give them a reward positive behavior. So,
well, that's good. Well, Ryder and I, it looks like we'll be calling the game. Actually haven't heard that for sure, but Alex Aldrich, who runs our Strive, was down making sure we were showing up. So we'll be there. Hopefully calling the game. People can tune in if they can't get out to the Osborne Family Sports Complex at 7:00 on Friday night.
So my question to you is, did we get the wireless microphone for the double commentator to work from the sideline yet? We need to talk to Alex about getting that wireless mic so I can let you guys actually have some football knowledge and stuff.
Number one, we're not there yet. But number two, we might be taking some steps in that direction. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get your hopes up.
Well, because it's a long walk up through the elevator and then through the crowd and get up there, and then usually
that's a lot of steps to the elevator, you're telling me?
Well, to get to the elevator, then you got to wait for the slow elevator, and then you get up there, and then by the time I see kids messing around, then I got to go back down, and I don't get to say anything.
All right. Well, we got softball last night. You made it out there without an elevator, right?
And, yeah, I made it out there. I got out there early. I got a nice prime spot. It was about 40 degrees cooler on the west end to the east end of the complex where I was in the little building, because the wind was blowing out of the northeast and around. Tigers came out. They needed a get-right game. They struggled in the they just struggled finding things in that Lincoln tournament. They saw GI Northwest again, which trying to figure out how they would match us up when we go that far with a team that were 20 miles apart. But Tigers came out on fire in the first inning, scored 5 runs, new batting order. Freshman Hayden Laux led off, playing the designated player. Macy
that looked like Carly Mulbach there with the double.
Yeah, or actually that was, Carly hit right after Sammy did. And Macy Wovler had a night. She just hit one sky high in the outfield, left field. The girl was running under it, and ran right into the fence, and the ball dropped right over. It was
Yeah,
like a Barry Bonds homer.
she had 2 homers. I
Yeah,
talked
she
to her
homered in the
yesterday,
second. What?
and she said 2 homers, and then they walked her, even though
Yeah,
she
they
hit
walked.
in front of Sammy Schmidt.
Yeah, which I was puzzled by, but she did hit the 2 homers. The second one was huge. Carly just absolutely destroyed one. So the
Emma
new lineup.
Langren had a homer, I think.
Yeah, Emma hit one to center, and then you can't say much. You can't say enough about Alyssa Breckner. Sounds like her foot's getting better. Her mother gives some great stats. Shout out to Mama Breckner for the Alyssa stats. She threw 44 pitches, complete game. I jinxed the no in the perfect game because I looked it up on Game Changer, and then I looked up and boom, there went the home run. So I take all fault in that, but it was it was their best hitter, and we threw a changeup, and you got to throw other pitches to the team's best hitters, and she deposited one, but she only gave up 1 run. She had really good command over pitches, kept them off the plate, and the Tigers were just aggressive. That's why Coach Speak talked in the Trib. They were just an aggressive approach at the plate. They have a tough one Thursday. They're going to North Platte. North Platte has their stud pitcher back that gave us fits last year. Yeah. It's a double dip, so I'm curious how they do. And then we'll just see how the new lineup. Peyton Laux, left-handed slapper. She's going to slap at the ball, work the counts, and we work the counts a lot. They pulled the York starter out and still in the first inning. And it was 11-1 and 4, and it was just a get-right game for the ladies, and they needed that. We had a pretty good crowd, too.
Good. They're 5-4 now, I believe.
Like yeah, 5-4, and we just
North Platte.
York was 6-1, so that's a good win as far as points. Moved them up a little bit in the points, which determines the seeding for districts. And it was just a get-right game. They've got at North Platte for 2. Tough ride, but we'll see what kind of mentality the ladies have. You know, they're grinders. And then they got Elkhorn and your new favorite
Northwest,
school,
Air Park.
Yeah, Lincoln Northwest coming in Saturday for a double duel. So,
all right, I kind of want to go see the Falcons as we see them for the first time interscholastically. I think
I will be out there at 9. I will be out there at 9:30 to watch. I think they play Elkhorn first.
Ooh, I forgot I won't be there though, but I got news later in the show about that. Real quick, last softball note: the JVs are rolling. Lost their first game of the year, a close one to Northwest. I think they've won 8 straight. I think they're 8-1, Trent.
Wow, that's impressive. I know there's a couple freshmen from my PE class. Oshner.
Yeah.
I talked to her a little bit. The first person I saw this morning when I got into ComArts was Macy. And I said, "You had yourself a night, didn't you?" And she said, "Yep." So
that's good. We see 2 homers from her all the time, is what I said.
Yeah, and I called Emma Langren's home run yesterday. Me and my friend that I walk with in T3, we missed Mackenzie Nolet's homer. She didn't hit one for us. So
well, maybe next time.
Yeah, all maybe next time. But I got Emma.
On to volleyball. Young volleyball team trying to find their way, picked up their first win last week, beat the Blair Bears. That's a team we don't see very often, but will be in our new Eastern Midlands Conference in a year, probably how they got added to the schedule. So that was a good win for the girls. Then last night, struggled a little bit in the triangular with Adams Central and Seward. Couple losses. We'll see, some more home games for the girls coming up. I think they've got McCook Thursday. That's a game where they can really be competitive, I think. And then I was looking ahead to Saturday's tournament at Lexington. Lexington's in there, and Broken Bow, who's been really good lately, but I think they're coming down a little bit. Chase County, Hershey, Holdridge, St. Paul, probably the favorite, and North Platte, St. Pat's. So we'll see if Saturday the girls can pick up a couple wins down there at Lexington. You got any volleyball insights, Trenner?
Coach Susie just had her baby today, so
Holy
congratulations to
cow.
Coach Susie.
Very exciting. I had not heard that news yet.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of mid-season births very often, so
No, especially early
use that as
season birth.
motivation.
So congratulations to Coach Susie, and we know Coach Turner and her crew are holding down the net and the net for Coach Susie until she gets back, and we congratulate her on the birth of her daughter.
All right. Well, we had tennis action here yesterday. Tennis boys were hosting Adams Central and McCook. I don't have those results right in my hand yet, but they were at Grand Island Central Catholic last Saturday. And as we kind of expected, Parker Ablett sliding into that number one single spot. He went 1-2 over there. We didn't get to play our matches against Kearney Catholic. I think there's a good chance Parker would have come out 2-2 if he'd have gotten that. And then, do you know who's playing in the 2 spot, Trenner?
No, I don't.
Easy E, Ethan Zimmerman, been climbing his way up, and he's playing in the number 2 spot. He went 1-2 too. And then Coach will be experimenting with the doubles all year. We split up the Wonder Twins. Ben is playing with Jackson Graves at number 1, and Alex is playing with the Cusick kid at number 2. But did you know this year at state there's number 3 doubles, Trent?
Did not know that. That's news to me.
Added number 3 doubles. So by state time, Coach G is going to have a third doubles team ready to go. Tennis, Lex Invite. I think they've got Lex Invite too. I don't know if that's Saturday or not. No, Columbus Invite. That's my big news. Guess who's coaching the tennis team at the Columbus Invite, Trenner?
Ann
Mays.
Her debut?
As the head coach. Yep. I'm driving the van so that she can focus on strategy, focus on, and she's tough love, so she'll get
I
out.
know. Do you know how to get to Columbus?
I do, but I have no idea where their tennis courts are.
You haven't. Last time you drove to Columbus, it had to be a long time ago because you usually ride on a bus.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll use my phone GPS, and then while those boys are playing tennis, I'm going to watch a little tennis, and then I'm going to go see Dan the Man Kruger at Columbus Lakeview. He's going to get me in to see their trophy cases.
Wow.
ACI grad. And then I'm going to go over to SCOTUS. They've got a volleyball tournament. I'm going to look over their stuff. So I'm going to do a little high school.
You gotta give Kruger he's the new Lakeview athletic director.
Yeah.
That's a big step for a former Tiger. So I was proud of him.
And you got an 8th grade quarterback.
And you got to call him by the proper name. His name is Thunder Dan Kruger.
Thunder Dan. I couldn't remember what you called him.
You can't forget Thunder Dan.
Thunder Dan. Hey, we went undefeated with him. We went undefeated with him running quarterback, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he was a good 8th grade quarterback. He might make that all 8th grade team if we ever came up with
one. When we work on that, well, we got to do our by the numbers first. First, we better talk about golf. Next week, we can talk about the Ann Mays era of Tiger tennis. But golf went over to Kearney. We took a limited squad. That's a tough Class A meet. Took about 3 golfers over there. Nobody got in the money. Nobody brought home a medal. They're back to Jackrabbit this week for the Grand Island High invite. So we'll see how we come out there. Anna Brandt leading the charge for the Tiger girls, of course. And then cross country, Trent is our only team that hasn't got the regular season going yet. Scrimmage the other night, I got out there, got some film. I think we saw what we can kind of expect. A strong boys team. Austin Carrera led the way. Diego, I'm not sure I know how to say his last name. And then Juan Sharon, Evan Struess. Looks like Ray Riley might be in the mix. But I think they're very competitive. They should be able to run in groups a little bit, run as a team. And we'll kind of see where they are when they go up to Albion, go up to the big country, up to cattle country, and run in this meet Friday. For the girls, Kellen Henry Perlich led the way, but Carly Shoemaker was right in there with her the whole way, which was a little bit of a surprise. Abby Fielder, Miley Mick, and then a surprise, Charlie Coyle, her first year of cross country, looking for some place where her knee knee will not give her trouble. She might help the team. And then Paige Feynman, who played basketball for me last year, tough girl, good runner. Maybe she gets in the mix. So we'll know more about this cross country team after Friday's meetup in Albion.
Yes,
I
we
told
will.
you should have got out to that cross country meet. It was just a beautiful night. Blue Hill comes in, Donovan Trumbull comes in, the Tigers dominate, and it was a beautiful night at Brickyard. They didn't shoot the gun until 7 p.m. It was just a nice night.
Yeah, it sounded like Coach Kreitzer's team did really well.
Yeah, exciting for her. Coach Bitfield is out there helping. I think he's a great voice to add to that cross country program. So that's exciting. All right, Trent, you ready to go back to Tigers by the numbers?
Yeah, I'm raring to go.
We got 10 minutes to do 10 numbers, but the first thing I got to give a shout out to the man who says he's the greatest manager in Hastings Tiger history, Cookie Josh Cookson. Yeah, I argued with him on Twitter, Trent. I said your resume might be tough on him, but he was honest because we forgot a number 3 and a number 5 last week. He thought deserved mention. Well, what do you got here on your sheet? No on Cookie?
Oh, yes, no on Cookie. I'm not even getting into that. I will offer one piece of evidence. We didn't have a fancy gym. We had the South gym. We either practiced at 3:30 or 7. I was mopping that thing every day.
That's true. Yeah. Cookie just had after-school practice every time, didn't he?
Yeah, Cookie was in a nice air-conditioned place. We were either there at 6 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, or 7.
Well, let's see his number 3. His number 3, Cookie's a huge fan of the 2004 state semifinal basketball team. There's Greg Barrett, who, of course, having all kinds of success over at St. Cecilia. He's cut down a few nets since then. And then for number 5, Cookie says it's a shame that we didn't think about Mr. Couts. Yeah, Jed Couts. That's a couple pretty good basketball players there, Trenner.
Yes, definitely. It was a nice run in 04. Yeah. Jed do everything. Greg sort of ran the show and then there was Mike Etzemiller who might appear on our list.
He might get mentioned today, don't you think?
What?
Don't you think Mike might get mentioned today?
Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he might. Yeah. He might be mentioned down the road, too.
Let's start with number 10, Trenner. You got a number 10?
Well, we'll drum roll. Let's see what our producer has. That's my number 10. He was all-state wide receiver, 10 double-digit touchdowns, probably made the greatest play to keep the Tigers' undefeated season at Lincoln East, made the game-saving play to win the game with the interception at the goal line.
Yep.
They called 22 Kansas. Yep. So that's my number 10 because he's just a tough dude.
Yep. 2-year all-state football players, had a couple sons wear number 10, I believe, since then. And, of course, Tiger football coach for a bunch of years. All right, there's Corey Greer.
Now, he's got a freshman right now, and now he's coaching for the Tigers. He's coaching DBs.
He's been coaching for several years. Yeah. I got some other number 10s, though. I got some other number 10s.
I know you do.
Tatum Bender, number 10, Tiger softball. Just an amazing athlete, did tons of things. Great basketball player for me, too. Just a fantastic athlete and a great kid. She definitely belongs in the number 10 conversation. Who else we got, Tater? Sam Porter, basketball, soccer, pioneer softball player for the Tigers. She wore number 10 in all three sports, we think. Boy, that's good competition at number 10. Played 2 sports at Wesleyan. So number 10's got some great ones. You're going with Dreer?
Well, yeah, I really, Tater was one of my favorite players. So I totally blew that one. I didn't even think of Tater.
Well, it's like making you choose between your children, Trenner. All right, on to number 11. What are you thinking at number 11? We've had some football players. had some basketball players.
Well, that's one of my number 11s. And Brett Larson, Mr. Three-Pointer,
The
that
Mad
98
Gunner.
basketball team. Yep.
The Mad Gunner. He never met a jump shot he didn't like.
And he always thought he was open for three, even when he wasn't.
Well, there's a teammate of his on the basketball floor. Tom Chick wore number 11. Took the Tigers all the way to the state semifinals in 1997 in football as a quarterback.
First 1,000-yard passer, a member of the only 1,000-yard triplets in Hastings High history. Bo Binkowski, 1,600 yards rushing. Pat Trader, 1,100, maybe 1,400 yards receiving. And then Tom Chick with definitely over 1,000 yards passing. So,
all right. Who else we got at number 11 here? Connor Creech, recent vintage, wearing number 11. Led the Tigers back to the state tournament, first time in 16 years, just as COVID came crashing down in the world. One of the only Tiger State basketball games I haven't seen in person. Connor fit in with that group, you think? All-state basketball player?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The all-time leading scorer, played 4 years, broke Edson Miller's record.
Yeah. All right. So, well, speaking of, what else we got here?
I'm curious who your guys.
Don't forget about Brian Trader playing quarterback wearing number 11. I think that picture is from that great Scotts Bluff game. Was that a state semifinal in the snow? Just an absolute
in a blizzard.
Tigers came in just a little short there, kept him out of Memorial Stadium. But Brian Trader, an all-state football player, linebacker for the Tigers, wearing number 11. I know we got another quarterback wearing 11.
Well, Brian, we almost consider all the Trader boys being little brothers. So,
all right,
we're picking kids.
Oh, we're back to Connor. Do we have Mike Etzmiller? He wore number 11. There, Mike Etzmiller wore number 11 in football. He didn't wear it in basketball. He wore that in football. No. Another great quarterback for the Tigers. Great athlete. All right, who was in the? Oh, here's my pick, Trent. Professional soccer player Yannick Thiel, wearing number 11, been playing in various Bundesligas. That's in Germany. Now he's a manager over there, managing soccer teams. He's my pick for number 11.
Well, you can't go wrong with either him or Connor.
Yeah.
All-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
He's playing D1 basketball, Northern Colorado.
That's true. Was Connor was your pick there?
Yeah, Connor, that was my pick.
Yeah. All right, that's a good one. All right, on to number 12.
Show back up. Drum roll.
Yeah, he's figuring it. The producer is operating from a car in a McDonald's parking lot, I believe. All right. Oh, there's your pick for number 12, huh?
Well, mine's supposed to be in black, but that says orange, so might be both our picks.
I think that's both our picks. That's Bo Butenbeck, quarterback, 1993 football team, all-state football, all-state basketball, Omaha World Herald Athlete of the Year, except the World Herald goofed it up and didn't give it to him.
They gave it to a guy we beat for the title.
Yeah, let's not even talk about that.
I'm still sore about that.
Winner. If Stu's watching, he knows.
And then Bo just took the team and the town on his back, and just in both seasons led the Tigers to the semis against Prep and the old Bob Devaney Sports Center. Had one of the greatest plays. If you go on Greg May's Twitter or Greg May's YouTube, definitely go watch the end of that the first round game against Alliance when he has the tip in, which might be one of the most incredible plays I've seen in any sport.
I think it's my number one. I think it's my number one athletic Tiger play that I've ever seen. That tip in to win that game.
Because we threw the ball in and we threw it away, and then we worked to get a shot. We had a pump fake. I'm not sure who the guy was that shot it, but then it was going out of bounds, and he tips it back up. But then, see, you don't give credit to what happened after that. Do you know what happened after that?
Well, he makes the play on the other end.
Yeah, Alliance is going down to score. I'm not sure if it's tie or what or win, but he takes a huge charge at the line, between the line and the block.
Yeah, and that makes number 12 to me. Number 12 is Bo Butenbach. Now, we got some other great ones, but boy, it's tough to move 12. We got Jared Widener at 112 wrestling, state champion wrestler. We got Greg Nitzel, a two-time state champion wrestler at 112 and other weights. We'll see. Maybe we can fit them in somewhere else. Those wrestlers change weights. Oh, and then your choice is Bo, too.
Yeah. So,
all right.
And then those are all good. Nitzel led the Tigers to, at the time, one of the first state title in many years. 88 with Coach Sheely. That was fun time when we waited for the boys to come back. I still remember we were coming to the Circle Drive then. So,
yeah. All right. Well, number 13, Trent. What are you thinking on number 13? We've had some good recent number 13s.
13's easy in my book.
All right. Do we have Trent's pick for 13 or do we have mine? Oh, there's mine. There's mine. Sophia Pankratz, greatest girls basketball player in Tiger history as far as I'm concerned. Just a warrior. An amazing senior year. Led a state tournament a couple times, all-state player. A great role player in softball and soccer. Was out for all kinds of sports. And just a great kid. Who's your 13, Trenner?
Same person.
You got
There's only 113, and you should have led off with being such a great kid and a great leader in school. That's what I would have started with. Because,
well, hey man, that's great, but I need somebody to put the ball in the basket, Trent.
And you got that, and she didn't wear those. I remember when she started wearing those knee guards that she has on. knee pads, and because she's going to be on the floor. And we counted a lot of times. We had an unofficial stat record for how many times Sophia gets on the floor because
she didn't want to wear those. I had to take her out to look at Coach Osborne's picture. Coach Osborne's got the game day knee pads on.
She needed those.
Wear them, she can.
And she's just a hard worker. And it's just Sophie. Yeah. It was fun to watch her. I didn't really know much about her freshman or sophomore year because you think the coaches, I knew the coaches at the time, you think they would let me in. And then she hits the three-pointer against AC her sophomore year. I thought it was to win the game or something.
She hit a bunch of big shots. All right, let's see who else we got. Number 13. We got another Sophie Cerveny. And I love this picture because this is how I'll always remember her. She must have made that catch going over the fence. It feels like every game she made one.
My favorite was the fans on the other side saying, she can't do that. Well, her feet started in play, and she made a living off of that. And she's at UNO now playing Division I softball, at least the last I knew.
Great athlete, great kid. We got Brandon Kyle, who joined our faculty this year. He's an assistant wrestling coach. Now he's teaching a little math for us. Won a state championship at 113. He'd have been a pretty good 13, too. Got any more 13s? Oh, Gretchen Rose.
Wow.
Holy cow, as greatest Tiger girls basketball player was coming out of my mouth, I was imagining my Twitter feed filling up with Gretchen Rose fans saying not so fast. She wore 13 in volleyball. Tremendous Tiger athlete. Maybe we can get her on the list later in her basketball number.
Yep, she led the Tigers to the semis in 1993 for girls basketball.
Class A semis.
Nelson,
Class A semis. Great athlete. Athlete.
Okay, just a second.
It looks like my 14's coming up first.
Yeah, your 14's first. Mine, I got to explain mine a little bit. Oh man, see.
I don't think Delaney's my 14 though. She'd have orange. Delaney though, a big part of the last 2 years. Tiger runner-up finishes. Really turned into a power hitter. I never saw coming. All-state softball. But I don't think she was my number 14 pick, was she? Oh, there he is.
Wow.
Stevie Guitar Jones running the option.
I forgot.
Champs. You forgot Steve?
Yes, I forgot Steve. I've had a lot on my plate the last 3 weeks. And my favorite Steve Jones memory was when we were running Wishbone. We coached him as an 8th grader.
Yep.
And we found out that GR Northwest had coaches in the press box. because they kept saying we need to get a new outside backer because that quarterback is killing him. And that was over our tape. And that's my favorite, Steve Jones. I can't say the other one on air, but there was an even funnier one that I talked to his dad about. But Steve Jones, that Class B year, we ran the ball, and then he added the extra pop with the throwing.
Yeah,
and
really
definitely one of my
great
favorite
thrower. Of course, I
QBs.
didn't let him throw in the 8th grade, but we were running true triple option with him in the 8th grade. I tell you, you don't want to run a lot of true triple with 8th graders, but smart kid, disciplined kid. My favorite story with Stevie was we were at football practice. It was a Saturday, and we had this defensive tackle, tough kid. tough kid. And he was eating Stevie up. He was beating the guard. He was just slamming through the gap and hitting Stevie. We go back to the huddle. I see Steve. He grabs
Fry.
No, or was it Nicky Fry? He grabs Nicky
Fry.
Puts him in at quarterback. And I'm like, you're taking yourself out just because you got tackled. I'm about ready to just come unglued on him. But he walks around and puts himself in for the guard.
Yeah.
And he goes, and next time that defensive tackle tries to jump through that gap, Stevie put his helmet right where it counted on that guy. And that guy, he got him blocked. I'll tell you that. And then he went back to quarterback.
And then, that was before quarterbacks wore the green jerseys. So.
Yep.
But
he's my all-time favorite 14.
I just love your reaction when he showed up at guard. I still remember that because you were like, he's going in where?
That's a great practice.
I was partial to the defensive lineman too. So
yeah, he was
big tall kid.
Kid had some troubles. Yeah. All right. Who else do we got at 14? Oh.
Okay. This is my stretch. Like Coach Blake said in my pottery class I've been in, he's been my ace in the hole.
Yeah.
So I struggled with 14. Steve Jones didn't even cross my mind. That's like my third apology I got to make. So we scored 14 runs against, I think it was Elkhorn. Coach Blake doesn't want to remember that we actually got up 11-3, and then it was a grind to get through that night. But that night pushes the Tigers into the state finals against Scott that year.
First time ever
for a girls team. And then it also just propelled them through the next year where they raced through the first 3 rounds of state and got to Scott. And then Northwest, and it sets up that great game with when Kalen Schultz with the walk-off. So that's my 14. That's my stretch. And as far as Coach Blake and I go, you opened that can of worms last time, so I can stretch it out myself sometimes.
All right. That's a good one. 14 runs for the Tiger softball team. All right. What other 14s we got? We got any other nominees? We had Delaney. Okay. All right. Let's go to 15. I think we ought to do 15 and then call it a show. What do you think? 15 is kind of a biggie.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. We got Faith Molina from those 2 great softball years. She wore 15. She's a possibility. She's at Doane pitching for the other Tigers. Who else we got? Daisy Seeley wearing 15 for volleyball and basketball. Great athlete. I can't say enough. Great track athlete. Just an all-around athlete. Our first 12 letterman, I think, to go up on that board. And just a fantastic Tiger. I can't believe she didn't get the pick, Trenner. Who else we got left?
She was Olivia. Wow.
Olivia Douglas, the Tigers' first dominant. Well, since Alicia Horsky, the first dominant pitcher, really the first dominant pitcher we had in the current Tiger softball run. Went up to South Dakota State to play in college. You see her goofing around after hitting a double there. That was always a fun group.
That's a good 15.
All right.
I took a little. We got Don Duncan.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
Donnie Duncan, who for a long time held the Tiger scoring record. 1944. That's Don Duncan Jr., by the way. It's senior that the baseball field is named after. But Don Duncan scored 35 points. I think at Crete or Beatrice on a road game back in the old days when the Tigers used to take the train down, play a couple teams in the Southeast. And then he scored 28 the next night. but the Tribune actually reported it as 38. So for a long time, we thought that was the school record for Hastings, 38. Actually, 35 was that he had scored the night before. And he had 38 on the books. And so when Cal Johnson scored 37 in 1954, they didn't think it was the record. But years and years later, Don Duncan straightened that out and said, no, 35 was his most. So he actually scored 35, held the record till 54, about 10 years. Then Cal Johnson held it. I believe Jim White tied it at 37. And then Bo Butenbach, who we had earlier, set it at 41. I think it's still sitting at 41 today.
Yeah, I think so too. I took a little different approach. It wasn't much of a stretch, but I went with the Laux brothers, state champions brothers in 2015. Both Connor is may make an appearance down the road. Coach Nolan is here leading the Tigers now. I just felt that was a huge point with the two brothers winning both state titles in 2015.
Giving them the number 15, I like that. We've 2 times we've had brothers win state titles in the same year. The Barrows boys in 66, I think, both won wrestling titles. So that's great. That's awesome. All right, I think we're going to call it there, and we'll pick up at number 16 next time.
Yeah, my 16. I did a lot of research in that.
Did you? Hey, I got to throw out another 15 we don't have pictures of. Andy Little had a heck of a senior quarterback in
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
My quick Andy Little story. You want to know? So Andy Little upset the number 1 team in the state his senior year. Do you know who it is?
So it's 1999. Number 1 team in the state that we would have been playing in the regular season?
Yeah, that we would have played Class B.
Northwest.
Okay. Nope. Lincoln
Pius. They were way down then. They were way down.
Yeah, Lincoln Pius X.
Oh, yeah.
Thunderbolts on the road. He threw for 238. Rob Yost had a great night. Lots of Tiger alumni that Pat Trader and the crew were down watching the game.
Pius is back in Class B this year. Are they on?
Yeah, we play him in 2 weeks.
All right, I'm excited.
But that was a great night. Andy Little definitely deserved to be up there.
Do you have a YouTube pick this week? Is it
No, it's your turn.
Gosh dang, it's my pick. Okay, here's my pick. I just put these up. You should go watch the 1994 district tournament. We have both the semifinals and the finals up at the Mini Dome in South Dakota. Bo Butenbach, Brad Feakin, Nate Smith, Benji Bolte, all those guys beat Columbus in just a down to the last minute, and then the Norfolk game the next night comes down to the minute. Ben Reese scores 28 for Norfolk, but the Tigers send him home. So those are my picks for the YouTube 1994 district basketball games. We'll get links up for that. All right, Trenner.
So my 16 is a doozy. That's all I'm saying,
man.
I'm teasing it. It's called a tease.
It's a tease. All right. Well, you get the last word. It's home football opener, so we really
so get out. Fun pep rally Friday. Can't wait for the Tiger game Friday night. Get some donuts Friday morning. Wear your Tiger orange and black, and go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Thanks for watching, folks.